Well, hello viewers and welcome to our chat and real estate brilliance with one of our real good friends and past clients or current clients as well, Mr. Scott Jordan from the professionals down in Forestfield. Mate, thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, mate. Happy to be here.
Now, how long is it now that you've been in the business, Scott?
Just over, about 4.5 years now.
I was thinking about that this morning and I was thinking, shit, that's gone quickly.
It has, mate. Yeah, it's flown by. I mean, really starting to enjoy it now. It's become really, really good.
And look, I worked, with you right from the beginning, so I remember how unsure and I suppose nervous you were whether you were going to be able to make a quid or a career in this business, and you've certainly done that and then some. So tell us about your first year, because you did very well in your first year. Were you top rookie or top 5 rookie of the year?
Yeah, so second rookie of the year and got the excellence award. So up against a good agent over in Canning Vale, Anna Maria. She got the top dog. But yeah, it was an awesome year. I mean, it was a real whirlwind. I just tried to get as close as I could to as many of the top performers and get some training up straight away from yourself, obviously. And I think that put me in a good position to do that.
And what were you doing before real estate?
So I was working at Carlton United Brewery. So I was a sales rep with them for 4 years, and then went and progressed up to key account management, which brought me back to Perth, and I was the key account manager for the spirits and RTD for the state. So yeah, that's what I was doing before.
So I had some sales background, but more obviously a different industry. And would you have had to have looked for clients in that industry?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
certainly. And not only looking for new business, but also trying to win back old business, because in that type of industry, you've got some big players that secure, business with 4 to 5 year agreements. And then it was about how we could get those guys back using our products and leveraging,
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did you do that for, Scott?
Sales rep for 4 years and then key account management for 2. So 6 years with those guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did that differ? Like, how did that set you up for real estate? Did it help? Did it assist you?
Oh, it certainly did. I mean, yeah, look, sales, I've always been in sales since I, left school. And that actually set me up really, really well, because what a corporation, I suppose, of that sort of size does is they allow you a lot of good training. And so I was able to do negotiation training with them and public speaking training and all that sort of stuff. So that was a really good thing that they offered. And along the way, got to do some really cool things, like promotion wise. When I was in the Southwest for the 4 years as a sales rep, I was doing the Margaret River Pro. We were doing southbound festivals. We were doing all these really cool things as you got to in a brewery.
Wow.
So yeah, that was awesome. But then the key account role was probably more structured and had more relevance, I suppose, to what we're doing now. I think because you a lot more contractual stuff in that role. But yeah, it was a good setup.
Cool. And then you came into boring old real estate, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, it wasn't boring at all. I mean, it was interesting, because I sort of came in, I reckon, at almost the worst time that you could, after the boom, basically, or the last peak, and so I only saw a market that was sort of doing that, and that just sets you up with good foundations. I think if you're surviving in a market that's not doing so well, when it turns, it's good.
And it struggled along for a long time. I mean, you missed the 2013 kind of 2010 to 2014 WA mining boom. You missed that. You came in just after that, and
That's right.
it kind of didn't get better for a long time. So you cut your teeth in a tough old market. And how's it gone? I know you had a great first year, top 5 rookie, second in fact. And then how's it gone from there? So the last kind of 3.5 years, how's your business continued to grow?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. I reckon it took me 3 to 3.5 years before I actually felt like I was going to survive, to be honest. Like I was still, even at that 3.5 year mark, and I had a fantastic rookie year and I was growing. There is this, I suppose, perception that as soon as you're in real estate, you're making money. And that's just not the case. So it honestly took me about 3.5 years before I could go, oh, look, I've made it. And I can now earn and not have to worry, because it's that pipeline. You have a great month and then there was nothing, and then you had a good month and then there was nothing, and you're getting paid and then you're not, and so it's a real balance. I think now that I reflect, it's the procedures that I put in place, and just getting rid of the ego and going back to basics, I suppose, which is what you have to do. Which set me up for now where it is good, that referral business is coming and the repeat business is coming, and you're better known. So it's just slogging it, a hard slog, working your bum off, doing 12, 15-hour days to get to a point where it starts to come back to you.
So let's talk about, because this is a really important part for the viewers, because there'd be a lot of agents who are feeling what you felt in that 3 years, ready to give up, wondering if it was worth it. So let's just talk about some of those key things that you did. So talk to us about the database and how that's helped you.
Yeah. Oh, look, I mean, I just, you just got to pick up the phone. You've just got to really put structures in place to use your database, whether it's, quarterly or annual calling after Christmas, and not always talking about real estate, but it can just be something that you put in the notes about they're having a wedding in December, and you're just picking up the phone and ringing them and keeping in touch with your clients. Making sure that your database is clean, because I think it's very easy to, hit the roads and put, Agnes down the corner there that's never actually going to be doing anything. But in the start, you're just loading your database because you've got to get a database. But I think it's just as important to be making sure it's clean and making sure it's categorized, and that you're leveraging it as much as you can, with a quarterly update, a calendar. I've sent out fridge magnets with resuscitation and local Chinese food numbers, the local businesses, and just any touch point that you can to leverage it, basically. Yeah.
So how many would you have on your database, give or take, at the moment?
I reckon at the moment it's probably a bit heavier than it should be. I reckon there's probably 2,000 on there.
That's awesome.
And it's probably a bit heavy, because I reckon realistically, if it was cleaner, it'd probably look like 12, 1,300, something like that, I reckon.
But you're working through that.
Yeah.
How did you build that? Give us some of those early prospecting and marketing activities that you did, to build that 2,000 strong database in 4 years.
Oh, look, I was leveraging other agents. I mean, I was just, speaking to people in my own office that were fairly busy at the time, and asking whether I could leverage off them as far as, door knocking. So if they had home opens, I'd be doing the just listed, the solds, hitting the ground, knocking on doors, giving them updates, and then asking them whether, I could, keep in touch with them, and that would be via a phone or email contact. So they would go straight into the system. Once you start getting your own home opens and stuff, well, then you're leveraging that even more, because you're getting buyers coming through, you're getting sellers coming through, because not everyone's a buyer that's walking through the door. They're comparing their own home. And so I was just doing a lot of that, a hell of a lot of door knocking, a hell of a lot of, I even bought a little postie bike and was zooming around, and because obviously from the training that I did with you, the just listers, just sold, all that sort of stuff, I was literally hitting 600 to 800 houses with just listers and just solds, and not even my own. At the start, they weren't even mine. They were Glenn's, and they were Kip's, and they were other agents. So
wow, well done, mate.
Yeah,
that's amazing. So there's no easy way, unless you've got 20 grand and to throw at it, whether it's a lead generation campaign on social media, or the solds, or the launch parties and world-class home opens. But when you get into this business and you don't have a great deal of cash to throw at it, because obviously
Yeah,
the first
totally.
6 months to 12 months, you're also keeping a bit aside
Mm.
to you know,
To survive.
to survive the lean months. But that multi-layered prospecting system, how important is that to build your database and then convert into more a nurturing type business? Because you'd have an intermediate business which is more nurturing based now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Look, it's vital for me, especially where I need structure. I need procedures to be able to survive, not survive, succeed. Because you are your own boss. Like if you're not motivating yourself to do it, then it's not going to get done. Because you can very easily, spend a month doing it and then go, hang on, I might have a week off here. So you've got to have structures in place, and things that I was doing was, making sure that that calendar was set out. Door knocking, and then you'd have your appointments in the evening, and then you'd be setting up your meetings during the day. And so it was really, really important that I did that sort of training with you guys, which set up multi-layered things that we did from the get-go. And the just listers, just souls, the home opens, the prospecting on the phone, the prospecting by all the different types of notes that we were able to leverage off you guys as well, with direct mailing, indirect mailing, all that sort of stuff. I just put it in place very early, and I stuck to it. And even when I thought sometimes I didn't want to do it, you just got to do it. You just have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
What do surgeons do when they don't want to go to work?
What?
They go to work. so they have to do
It
it.
doesn't matter. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. People are relying you.
Exactly.
Having a family that is at home is pretty motivating to do that. So
exactly.
That's what we did, mate. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was great. It was great working with you early on, because you were a blank canvas and you pretty switched on guy, have sales experience, sales background. So for you, it was great to watch you absorb the stuff and then implement it, and then just watch it rise. So you've done an amazing job, and you got an award at the recent REWA stats. So what accolade was that?
Yeah, so at Rewa, what was that? It was 42 sales and $18.5 million club for, selling.
So that's huge, mate. $18 million. So life's good for you, mate. You're making a few bob. Tell me about how your life has changed now with regards to the systems, the structure, following through what you've done, and how does your future look now?
Yeah, I suppose now I can, my time management and my work-life balance is better now, because obviously once you've got yourself established a little bit, you can then really put things in place to be working when you're working, and when you're not, you're not, because that's just as important to have time off, because it can get the best of you. So now I've sort of, Sunday is my Monday. I work Sunday through to Thursday, and then I have Fridays off. I make sure I do that. And if I'm working Saturday sometimes, well, it means I'm busy and things are good. But if not, I've got that day in lieu. So I've got a really, really good, work-life balance now. Things are put in place to be able to do that. And look, for me, I think moving forward, although I like, you're always trying to get bigger and sell more and that, but there is a certain position that I want to get to. And look, my goal is to be selling 6 to 8 a month now, and that's always been my goal, and I'm pretty close to the bottom of that target now. So once I get to that, I'll be really happy with how I'm progressing. But I don't want to get to a point either where I become an agent that people can't get a hold of, and I still like to be the face of what I'm doing. So it's just getting to that number and maintaining that number, and being able to help other people around me as well, that come into the business, that then want to start leveraging what I'm doing as well, because I think that's just as important. I like seeing people succeed, and there's sort of new people coming in all the time, so helping them out a bit. But just
that's amazing, mate. Yeah, it's great to serve other people, and it's obviously something that I thrive and absolutely love as well. And once you've succeeded yourself, there's nothing better than helping others do the same. And that's a culture that we have at Real Estate Brilliance. And Most of our clients who we work with are cut from the same cloth and love
Yeah.
helping others. Tell me about your support staff. What support have you got now, or what support do you plan to get if not?
Yeah, look, I think you always need someone to be able to lean on. And, for me at work, there's obviously yourself who I was getting coached and staying in touch with for a full year straight after we did the course. And then, I'm always touching base and coming and seeing your things that you do as well. We've got a great team in our office. So obviously that my mate and the owner, Glenn, he's the person that I lean on regularly. But we've got great admin staff, we've got great reception, we've got great property managers. We work closely with good. And then also too, I've got an amazing wife and family, and she always backs me. And when I said to her, I remember saying, I'm going to leave this secure job at CUB, I'm going to go sell real estate for commission and might not get paid. And she was like, oh well, if that's what you want to do, although she did it with a face that sort of screamed out a bit, she's always there. So
Yeah.
she's amazing. But she did understand at the start, and we had conversations regularly, that I am going to be out for a lot of hours at the start, to be able to get established, and she backed me all the way. So just having a couple of touch points in your workplace, at home, and then for me, someone like yourself, you just lean on people and ask questions, and don't be too proud to put your hand up when you need help.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that that's quite rare, believe it or not. People feel more embarrassed to reach out, or insecure about their own kind of knowledge and skill, where it's something that most people are really wanting to assist and help. So you nailed it there, mate. And with regards to your wife, mate, it makes life so much better if you're both on the same page. You're doing this together as a unit, to give your kids and yourselves a better life, but to enjoy yourselves at the same time. So not be taken away too much from them and from your loved ones. It's just not worth that. So the balance is so bloody important. Mate, this has been a great interview. What 5 things would you say to agents who are thinking of pulling the pin, like you've had to do half a dozen times or so, or who are looking to get better in the business?
Oh goodness me. It's just get back to basics. I mean, you've got to get back to basics, get rid of your ego. You're going to start from the beginning, and everyone does. So do that. Get some early training in place, in-house, out-of-house. Reach out to people that you think can help you. Put the procedures. Once you've done that, you've got to implement the stuff that you're doing. There's no point in doing the training and then not doing anything with it. So just making sure that you're implementing that sort of stuff. Making sure that when you're at work, you're working your ass off, and when you're not, you're not. If you're at home and you're with your family, then
Switch off.
make sure that that's it. Have regular time off as well. As funny as it seems at the start, because you're not doing that, eventually it'll come where you have good time off. And just be happy in what you're doing. I think if you're happy in what you're doing, then you don't mind working. And so, back to basics, structures, work-life balance, and be happy. And I think you'll be all right. It'll turn. It'll turn. If you think it's not, it does turn. And it feels like it isn't going to happen sometimes, but eventually it will with hard work, I think.
Mike, you said that absolutely beautiful. I just want to hone in on one thing, because it's so important. And you spoke about being happy in your job. And I think for the viewers out there, happiness is kind of this thing that we all strive to have, but don't quite know how to grab it. But in your job, and you're a perfect example of this, it's about knowing what your purpose is. And you've already said throughout this interview a couple of times, part of your purpose is actually helping people, and that's what real estate agents do. So if you know that the work that you're doing is changing lives, and it's adding to people's lives, and in the interim you're helping a few people around you, be them PAs, internal staff members, a couple of sales people within the office, you're making a big difference. And to do that is a great feeling, isn't it?
It is, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, nothing more. Yeah, absolutely. It's a
So
great.
that's the happiness that that you're talking about, and that you've mentioned a few times throughout this interview is, if you know your true purpose in life, and you know, especially in your job, you'll never work a day in your life.
Absolutely, yeah, it is great. Once you get into it, it's a great lifestyle. It's a great job. You're with people. I love people. So, you know, and you really take it on board that you're not only selling houses for people, but people that are buying. They're your next sellers, and so you've got to be sort of sharing the love both sides, along with making sure that people that are within your workforce are happy, and your people at home. And yeah, like you say, mate, if that's all working well for you, then you don't feel like you're working too much. It's pretty cool.
Well done, mate. That was an absolutely great interview. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Keep up the good work, mate. And we're always available for you if you need anything. And it was great catching up and having a beer with you at the Rewa Ball, mate. Good to
As
see
always,
you.
mate. Yeah, good on you, Ryan. Thanks very
Love to
much.
the family, mate. And thanks
Yeah,
very
you too.
much.
Take care. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, buddy. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.